is going to come out with the Superboat. D and P boats are coming out with a pace boat. Right there we have Thoroughbred, Lipstick, Warrior, the Victory boats. Fountain is there. And we've got racing. We've got the green flag, and the 1990 Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix is officially underway. There you see coming into a quick lead, that's the P-Vote under the Victory banner, and also their open entry, also under the Victory team banner, is in the lead. So you've got two Victory boats coming all the way from the United Arab Emirates are in the lead right now, and they're having a great weekend of racing. Now, showing the start from the other angle, you're going to see basically the same thing, but just from the other side. There you see the pace boat on the far side of the course. There's Warrior, Panama Jack. There you start seeing Victory coming up. Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari right there in the picture. And there you see the start, but now we're looking from the other side. And there goes the Superboat of Victory. There goes Reggie Fountain on the inside, which we couldn't see before. Fountain really goes flying out on the race course with the Superboat of Victory and the P-Boat of Victory also on the far outside from this angle. And there's Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari. But right there, you see Reggie Fountain's Fountain Race Team going out with Victory, their Superboat entry from the United Arab Emirates. What a hot boat. And on the outside of Victory is their P-Boat, and also under the Victory banner. So now we've picked up where we left off before, and we are back to live action. This is boat number 7. It's the Victory Race Team. Locked in a fierce battle with Fountain. So Reggie Fountain has really risen to this occasion, and he's showing the people from the United Arab Emirates what a good old American boy has got under his race boat. And he's really going out there. So we got Reggie Fountain and the Victory Race Team locked in a battle. Right now we're going to key boat number 7, the Victory Race Team. There's a 32-foot skater racing hull powered by two 600 horsepower United inboard racing motors with Merc Cruiser drives. There you see the distance between Fountain and Victory. This boat is owned by Victory Team from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. This boat is driven by Hamad Bouhaliba from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and on throttles, Randy Sism, also from Dubai, is your throttle man. So these two are making up the Victory Race Team, and they had, on Friday, they broke the Donzi World Kilo offshore record in their division, so you know this boat has a lot of speed. So they're going all out at this present point in time. They were really doing some job out there with a record of 119 miles per hour, so you know this boat has the power to do what it takes to win this race. And they've got calm conditions, which are ideal for this 32-foot skater catamaran racing hull. So between the power and this hull, the Victory Team from Dubai should have a very good run here today. They'll be locked with Team Ferrari, Dollar Marine Special, Super Hawaii, Black Thunder, just to name a few, will be going at it in that division. And of course, Reggie Fountain can never be counted out of any race. Such a strong competitor, and his boat is really coming on. From Sarasota, Florida, it's Victory Team, and we wish them all the best. Hamad and Randy in the Victory Race Team are very strong right now. Although they are dueling with Reggie Fountain in the Fountain Marine boat, however, Reggie is basically running in an exhibition type class, being that he is running with an experimental setup of 3 1,000 horsepower Merc Cruiser inboards with Merc Cruiser drives. No other boat in that class is permitted to run that, but Reggie is just trying to work out a few interesting things with his new boat. Always trying to develop new technology for Fountain Marine. So really the story right now here is Hamad Bouhaliba and Randy Sism of the Victory Race Team from United Arab Emirates. They're presently running in first place, and you get an idea just how fast this boat is going. They're moving over 100 miles per hour. This boat is dialed in extremely tight. They've got calm seas right there, as you can see, almost like glass out here for an open ocean race, and these guys are certainly going to take advantage of it. So we wish Hamad and Randy all the best. They've come a long way, and they're certainly letting it all hang out here in Sarasota, Florida, the Victory Race Team. And as they're rounding the first checkpoint, Reggie Fountain gets there first, ahead of the Victory team. So Fountain gets a slight lead as he approaches the first checkpoint in the turn, and Victory is right there. But in terms of official entries, Victory is in first place. While he is in a duel with Reggie, Reggie is just doing some experimentation right here for Fountain Marine. But the story is Victory right now at the early stages of this race. There you get some distance between your first two boats. Officially, it's Victory in first. However, right now between these two boats, they're going at it head to head. There's nothing like good competition out here in the open seas. Look how calm it looks right now. And Reggie's got a deep V race hull right here, and it is really moving for flat conditions. Let's highlight the Fountain Racing team. Boat number 76, Fountain Race Team. There's a 45-foot Fountain Racing hull powered by three 1,000 horsepower Mercruiser inboards with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned and throttled by R.M. Fountain Jr. from Washington, North Carolina, and Joe Detour from Coram, New York is your throttle man. So Detour and Fountain once again making up the Fountain Race Team. They've had a relatively good campaign. They've taken a 6th and a 1st in the races that they've entered so far, so they're in 4th place overall in the national points battle. But they're not so much concerned about that as they are about always trying to push that envelope further and further out and developing whatever it takes to run fast here in the open waters. Reggie Fountain, always striving for excellence in offshore powerboat racing, and right now he's really showing what his experience and his knowledge has come forth together with this technology right in your picture right here. From Sarasota, Florida, it's boat number 76, Joey Detour and Reggie Fountain's Fountain Marine. Recently in New Orleans, at an OPT offshore powerboat race, Reggie Fountain, who is a dominant APBA superstar, went out there and ran first, not only in class but overall against all those boats in OPT, and he had a very dominating run there. So APBA once again is putting out the best possible product in the waters for offshore powerboat racing, and Reggie Fountain took on all comers at the OPT race in New Orleans and had a very dominating run. Congratulations to Reggie Fountain. Now we come up on Mendy Fernandez's boat number 26, the Ferrari Collection Race Team. This boat is a 35-foot Jaguar powered by two 800-horsepower Mercury inboard motors with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned by Mandy Fernandez of Miami, Florida. Hugo Colombo is your driver, and Mandy Fernandez is your throttle man. What more can we say about Mandy Fernandez? He, as well as the Team Ferrari collection, speaks for itself. They've had a very good campaign so far. They're presently locked in a battle with Duntermans and the Agitator race team. He's in second place nationally. He had a second place in Key West, a fourth in Cape Coral, and a third in Miami, and right now he is running strong. So strong, as a matter of fact, that he is presently unofficially in first place. That's due to the result of, as we were with Victory, they had a mechanical problem, and unfortunately they had to retire from the race early, which was very disappointing for them because they had such a fast boat. But right now it is Mandy Fernandez's race to be won. He's a true competitor, definitely one of the superstars on APBA. He's been racing for so many years. He's been involved with so many excellent race teams, and right now it's really culminated here for him with his Team Ferrari collection. He's done a great job, and he's certainly a great competitor. Mandy Fernandez and Hugo Colombo, making up this team, have done an excellent job. And right now, with the strength of this boat and the performance that it's running in speeds well over 90 miles per hour, and in these calm seas, this boat is going to hit, I'm sure, 100 miles per hour on certain legs of this race. They're really going to be hard to catch. If they don't have any mechanical problems, they're definitely going to be a tough boat to catch. And right now, they are the boat to catch, being that they are in first place. So with that, we're going to see a great champion, Mandy Fernandez and Hugo Colombo, making up the Team Ferrari collection, and we wish them all the best here in Sarasota, Florida. Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari. Team Ferrari looking very strong. Now we come up on a boat chasing Team Ferrari. It's D7, the hyperactive race team. This is a 32-foot skater powered by two 500-horsepower Innovation inboard motors with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned and driven by Tom Slomaka from Athens, Georgia, and on throttles we've got David Cutler from Fairplay, South Carolina. Hyperactive certainly is a fast boat. He's already proven that. Just this past Friday in the Danzi World Kilo Speed Run Time Trials, he set a record at a speed of 111.132 miles per hour, which broke the previous record at 106 miles per hour. So you know this boat is a serious competitor and one to be reckoned with in the D division. Right here you see him locked in a fierce battle with Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari, the collection. These boats are in two completely different categories. Fernandez being in Superboat and Hyperactive being in Offshore D. And they are going to be tough to catch. Once again, calm seas, ideal for this 32 skater racing hull. They certainly have the power, 111 miles per hour of it, and they're going to be tough to catch in Offshore D. They're presently unofficially in first place, holding off Chill Out, Warrior, the Executioner, Thunder Marine, and Hooters, who make up the rest of Offshore D. So they are having a good run. And there you see on the far outside, it's Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari, the collection. So we certainly hope that the hyperactive race team, headed up by Tom Slomaka and David Cutler, culminate a good weekend here today with a strong win today to finish up a great day that they started with on Friday. So we hope nothing but the best for the hyperactive race team from Sarasota, Florida. Really a good battle going on here right now between Mandy Fernandez's Team Ferrari, the collection, and Slomaka's hyperactive race team. basically Hyperactive has pulled alongside and has taken a slight lead over Team Ferrari. So we all know how fast Mandy Fernandez has been running all year, so you really get an idea of just how fast Hyperactive is running. These guys are very hyperactive right now, and that's a great picture of a very fast race boat right now. But there's Fernandez coming right up to meet the challenge, and he's pulled even with Hyperactive. Fernandez on the outside, Hyperactive on the inside, and Mandy has put it down, and he's now overtaken the lead once again over the Hyperactive race team. Can't get anything but the best. The APBA provides nothing but the best in offshore powerboat racing. And that's illustrated right here in the beautiful waters off Sarasota, Florida. So right now the battle is still going on between Team Ferrari, the collection, and Hyperactive race team. We'll have to be bringing you updates throughout this race because it promises to be a good one. Now we come up on boat number 38, the Super Hawaii race team. This is a 38-foot superhero V-bottom race hull, powered by two 600 horsepower C-Tech diesel inboards with Bootsy outdrives. This boat is owned by Superhero Racing of Sarasota, Florida. Driving is Chris Bush of St. Paul, Minnesota. Jerry Gilbreth from Santa Ana, California is on throttles. And Joe Gear from Woodbridge, New Jersey is your navigator, the Super Hawaii race team. And they're also in the thick of things. They're running in the Superboat class, and they'll be dueling with Team Ferrari, the collection, Dollar Marine Special, Black Thunder, throughout most of the day. With some of the other boats dropping out in class, this is certainly going to open up a lot of opportunities for some of the other competitors in the Superboat class, and Superhero Racing is certainly going to take advantage of this opportunity being extended to them. They're running very well right now, and they're really going to try to finish in the top three, and they're certainly capable of it. Superhero Racing has really come together, and with those 600 horsepower C-Tech diesel inboards with Bootsy drives, this boat is certainly capable of doing what it takes. So we certainly wish them all the best. Joe Gear, Chris Bush, and Jerry Galbraith in the Super Hawaii race team. Very good looking picture right there. Super Hawaii looks very comfortable in their race cockpit, and with that wing to help provide them with some stability. We wish them all the best. And right now we're coming up on P13, the Lipstick Race Team. This is a 32-foot skater racing boat powered by two 260 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Royal Motors of North Miami, Florida. Luis Cruz is your driver from North Miami, Florida, and Jeff Soffer, also from North Miami, Florida, is on throttles, the Lipstick Race Team. They're going to be locked in a fierce battle, as they are right now, with the Pro Stock boat under the Victory Team banner. And they'll be running with Panama Jack, Talon, Bad Move, and Thoroughbred motor cars. So it's definitely a very tightly contested division here today in the Pro Stock. And Lipstick is having a very good run right now, and we hope it continues for them throughout the day. They're presently in 4th place in the national point standing, behind Bad Move, Talon, and Panama Jack. With a disappointing beginning in the season, they just took a 3rd place in Miami, Florida. So they certainly hope to build on that here today and add to their point totals here in Sarasota. Actually, they've only entered that one race, and they had a 3rd place performance, as I said, so they hope to add to it here today with another top 3 finish, which would really help them out in the points battle with the other boats in Pro Stock. So we wish them all the best. Right now, Luis Cruz and Jeff Soffer look very comfortable in their racing cockpit of the Lipstick Race Team, and we wish them nothing but the best here in Sarasota. Now we come up on D2, the Chill Out Race Team. This is a 32-foot Scorpion race hull powered by two 700 horsepower United inboard motors with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned by Fernando Morales of Miami, Florida, who is your throttle man. And driving today, we've got Jay Acavato from Miami, Florida. The Chill Out Race Team. In Offshore D Division, they'll be running with Hyperactive, who we already saw, who's really blazing around the race course. But Chill Out is also a good racing competitor right there, and they're looking very strong, and they're going to be locked in a battle not only with Hyperactive, but with Warrior, Executioner, Thunder Marine, and Hooters, who we've seen on some of our previous races here in Florida. Chill Out is looking very good right there. Turning around, checking out their competition. The boat looks extremely comfortable in these calm water conditions. The Scorpion V hull would certainly prefer a little rougher water, but nonetheless, they do feel they have the power with these 700 horsepower United inboards to do what it takes to have a good run here today in Sarasota. Fernando Morales' Chill Out Race Team. Chill Out continues to enjoy a very strong run right here at this point in the race. And there we are, rounding the checkpoint. And that's P106, the Victory team, in front of him. And right here, speaking of that, we have P106, the Victory race team. This is a 29-foot Victory Cat powered by three 260 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by a Victory team from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Driving today, you've got Saeed Al-Tayr from Dubai, and on Throttle, Skip Harper, also from Dubai. The Victory team. Unfortunately, the Superboat Victory team was plagued with mechanical trouble and was forced to drop out of the race. Very disappointing for them, because they were so confident with a strong performance that they had at the Danzi World Kilo Speed Run on Friday, setting a speed record. Tough break for them. So now all the weight is on P106 to carry the Victory team banner throughout the race here in Sarasota. And they are doing an excellent job of it right now. They're unofficially in first place, holding off the hard-charging Lipstick, Panama Jack, Talon, Bad Move, and Thoroughbred motor cars. So the P106 is doing an excellent job right now. But besides the P106, Victory team also has a stock boat, S108. They've brought out three boats. The Superboat unfortunately met with some mechanical problems. P106 is unofficially in first place, having a great run, and S108, the stock boat, unofficially in first place there. So Victory, coming all the way from the Dubai, United Arab Emirates, really has their act together, and they're showing very strongly here in Sarasota, Florida. P106, the Victory team, and we wish them nothing but the best, and may they enjoy victory here today. Slightly ahead of them, we have the Chill Out race team, a boat we saw earlier on. They're chasing and tracking down the wake being left by Chill Out, and they certainly are in the sights and going after them. Different categories of racing, different classes, but it does make for some very exciting racing. When you're out there in the open waters and you see another boat, you really get charged up and give it that little extra effort, and that's what Victory race team is doing right now. Saeed Al-Tayr and Skip Harper of the Victory race team. With these calm seas, this Catamaran race hull should perform very dominantly here today, and they are doing a great job. Unofficially in first place over Lipstick and Panama Jack and Talon at the present point in time. Going to be a tough boat to catch today. And there you see the distance that they've closed down between themselves and Chill Out on the outside. Chill Out is an offshore D boat, and this is a P boat. Offshore D, Chill Out is doing an excellent job right now in holding off Victory. But this is some very good racing. You've got the deep V-bottom boat going up against the smaller Catamaran race hull. Once again, some excellent competition out here. Passing a smaller A boat right there. Couldn't quite get a name on it. That was a great run right there. Victory pulled up alongside Chill Out, an excellent run. And right now we're coming up on P39, Thoroughbred motor cars. This is a 32-foot skater powered by three 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned and driven by Steve Lavin of Coral Gables, Florida, and Edwin Shear, also from Coral Gables, Florida, is your throttle man. So Laven and Shear making up the Thoroughbred Motor Cars race team. And on the outside, that is the Wild Thing that they're going by. P39 Thoroughbred Motor Cars. Present time, they are in that lead pack of boats with Victory Team Lipstick, who we've already seen, Panama Jack, Talon, Bad Move, and Thoroughbred Motor Cars. They're running very well right now, looking very strong. They are running with Victory Team and Lipstack, holding off Panama Jack, Talon, Bad Move at the present point in time. This 32 skater is dialed in quite nicely, and right there you see Laven and Shear looking very confident in the cockpit of their 32 skater racing hull. They see another boat going down the other leg on this race course. All the divisions are very tightly contested. Superboat, Team Ferrari Collection, Dollar Marine Special, Super Hawaii, Black Thunder are still going at it. Victory Team that we just saw, the P106 boat, is having a good run, and right now we're going to stay with Thoroughbred Motor Cars, who seem to be running very well, and we wish them all the best as this race continues to unfold here in Sarasota, Florida. Thoroughbred Motor Car seems to be slightly down on power. Hope it does not plague them throughout the race. Now we come up on the hard-charging P19 Panama Jack. There's a 31-foot Conquest powered by three 265-horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned and driven by John Carbona of Fort Myers, Florida, and Terry Hill from Fort Myers is his throttle man. Panama Jack is enjoying an excellent 1990 campaign. He is in the National Division, presently in first place in points in Pro Stock. He took a second in Key West, a disappointing fifth at Cape Coral, but came right back with a second in Miami. And right now he is looking very strong. He's running in the lead pack with Victory Team that we saw and Lipstick. Panama Jack is a good season racing veteran. He's had a good campaign. He does not get rattled easy, and he's certainly not intimidated by anyone out there on the race course. John Carbona and Terry Hill are doing a great job, and they certainly hope to have a good run here today in Sarasota to add to their overall points lead. They have about a 47-point lead over Talon, who is in second place. So we'll have to see what happens here. If Talon with a good finish, or Bad Move, or even Lipstick with a good finish here could pick up some points on Panama Jack and perhaps overtake them. But if Panama Jack remains in the top three, they should be able to hang on to their overall lead as we leave Sarasota. But we'll have to wait and see. There you get a good idea of the business end of this machine, as those 2.4 Mercury EFIs are really doing the job for Panama Jack. We wish John Carbona and Terry Hill all the best here today in Sarasota, Florida. It's the Panama Jack race team. Dollar Marine Specials in this group: Mixed Emotion, Rude Cat, Party's Over, Main Attraction, Blackjack, Heartbreaker, Borderline, Waste Chaser, He Design. Enterprise is right on the inside of the pace boat, and we've got the green flag from the pace boat, and we're officially underway. The yellow boat in the middle of your picture, that's Waste Chaser. On the inside that you just saw was Enterprise. And right there running out with Waste Chaser is Mixed Emotion. So you've got Mixed Emotion and Waste Chaser taking a slight lead right now. And here we're going to go with S26. It's the Liliana race team. This is a 25-foot Talon powered by two 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Gary Armington of Sarasota, Florida, who is throttling today. And Ronald Chip Fent from Sarasota, Florida is your driver. So we've got a Sarasota race team right here. Once again, very familiar with the waters here. They have a very good looking boat, a lot of crowd support out here today, and they'd like nothing more than to have a good run here today. Liliana right now is running in the middle of the pack. It's an early race, and they're off to a very good start, though. There's your lead boat, so they are definitely in the hunt for things. It's a first lap. Water conditions have kicked up a little bit, but certainly I doubt it'll be a condition here that they must be faced with. Overall, they are still having calm race conditions, so we should have some good runs by these smaller catamaran racing boats. Liliana will be fighting with Godspeed, Jetsaros, Assault, Bermuda Racing, Sunfire, Thin Ice, and once again Victory S108 does have a boat entered here today. Liliana is in 6th place in the stock division in points. They took a 4th place in Cape Coral, and they had a 5th place in Miami. So they would certainly like to add to their points right now and move up the ladder in the stock class. Jetsaros, Sunfire are locked in a very fierce battle in stock class, so we'll have to see how that shakes out throughout the course of the day. But right now we're with Liliana, and we wish them all the best here in Sarasota, Florida, the Liliana race team. Now we come up on S941, the Bermuda Racing Team. There's a 24-foot skater powered by two 200 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Derek Simmons from Cavendish, Bermuda. Derek is doing the throttling today, and Anthony Stoneham from Southampton, Bermuda is your driver here today. So Stoneham and Cavendish making up the Bermuda Racing Race Team, and they're off to a very good start. They are hanging with some of the quicker boats that have taken off to an early lead, being made up of Victory Team, Thin Ice, Sunfire, Assault, Jetsaros, Godspeed, Liliana, just to name a few who have gotten off to a very good start, as well as Concattac, who have really taken off to a good start and are setting the pace in the S Division. We should be seeing some excellent competitive racing in the stock division. These boats are so evenly matched, and the equipment as well as the racing hulls themselves have gotten to the point of being developed to the finest edge that everyone has some of the best available equipment and technology out there. So it's just going to come down to how the boats hold up and the skills of the crews. And Simmons and Cavendish of the Bermuda Racing Team are looking to have a good day here today, and we wish them all the best here in Sarasota. S941, the Bermuda Racing Team. on the outside of Bermuda Racing Team, it is the Assault Race Team. So even at these early stages, it's good to close the gap on whoever you can and definitely try to set the pace and let them follow you as opposed to you following them. And they're making their move right now on Assault. This is good competitive racing. Two boats in the same stock division, and they're going all out right now. They have 4 laps to go here. That's what they'll be racing throughout the day, and they definitely want to make an impression and set the pace of the race. Bermuda Racing Team on the inside, Assault on the outside, and Bermuda Racing Team is mounting their Assault right now on the Assault Race Team. Very good racing here today in the stock division on the APBA. Now we come up on C6, the Borderline Race Team, and charging behind them on the outside, it's Stainless Marine. C6, the Borderline Race Team. It's a 33-foot yellow Excalibur race hull powered by 3 275-horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Dan H. Rocco of Holmes Beach, Florida, who is your driver of record, but today he is doing the navigating. Driving, we've got David L. Rocco of Holmes Beach, Florida, and on throttles, it's Daniel C. Rocco of Holmes Beach, Florida. So the Roccos making up the Borderline Race Team. And they're locked in a very fierce battle right now with Stainless Marine. Very good racing here between these two boats. Stainless Marine on the outside and Borderline on the inside, neck and neck. Stainless Marine taking a slight lead after a good bit of racing with the Borderline Race Team. But the Roccos, not ones to be intimidated, are charging right back. There you see Stainless Marine getting a little loose. Borderline going through the same waters, looking very comfortable actually, and we have locked in a very good battle here between these two boats. Stainless Marine on the outside and the Roccos on the Borderline Race Team, looking very good, and we wish all the Roccos nothing but the best here today in Sarasota, Florida. C6, the Borderline Race Team, having a very good run at this point in the race. And now we come up on B54, the Great Adventure Race Team. There's a 31-foot custom V race hull powered by 2 500-horsepower Innovation inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. That yellow boat that you saw on the top of your pictures, the heat is on. This boat is owned by Bill Gazelle of Brick, New Jersey, who is doing the driving, and Rick Lamore from Sarasota, Florida, is on throttles, and it's Warren Gazelle, your navigator. So we've got Courageous Cat in the middle of the picture, and the heat is on the outside. So in the beginning, when we picked up Great Adventure, you saw the heat is on had a slight lead over them, but now that lead has been eclipsed, and Great Adventure is going by the heat is on and Courageous Cat. Great bit of driving here by Gazelle and the Great Adventure race team. They're presently having a good run. They're holding off Creative Native, Hot Ticket, Environmental Impact, Jamaican Bobsled, Crack Conks, and many other racers in Offshore B. They're unofficially in first place at the present point in time, and they could sure use a good run here today. They've had a bit of a difficult year so far, and they'd like nothing more than to have a very strong finish. In the national points, they're a bit down. They're presently in 13th place, and they would love nothing more than to have a first place finish. And that would certainly move them up a few rungs on the ladder. And don't forget, it is a very long race campaign throughout 1990, and Bill Gazelle and the rest of the Great Adventure race team will be there. So Bill Gazelle, along with Rick Lamore and Warren Gazelle, are enjoying a very fine run here in Sarasota, Florida. B54, the Great Adventure race team. Now we come up on C43, the Heartbreaker race team. This sleek 32-foot Scorpion is powered by two 500 horsepower Coast inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned by Rich Langieri of Fort Myers, Florida. Driving today is Donna M. Langieri of Fort Myers. On throttles, we've got Rich Langieri, and Gregory Frith from Cape Coral, Florida, is your navigator. The Langieris and Frith making up the Heartbreaker race team. Offshore Sea is going to be a very competitive division, as you can imagine, and the Heartbreaker is in the middle of the pack with Blackjack, Main Attraction, Party's Over, Borderline, Waist Chaser, The Heat is On, just to name a few. They got a bit of racing left ahead of them. They're looking very good right now. However, they do have to make up some ground between themselves and the lead pack of boats. And there you see them right there, the Langieris along with Frith making up the Heartbreaker race team. Here you see Sarasota in the background, some of the many spectators who have come out to witness this exciting APBA national event. Mendy Fernandez still having a strong run in the Superboat class. Victory's boat is doing very well in stock class. Lipstick, Panama Jack going at it in Pro Stack, as well as the Victory boat there also. Hyperactive, Chill Out Warrior going at it in Offshore D. Dollar Marine Special, Mixed Emotion, Rude Cat, Party's Over, Offshore C. Great Adventure, Bill Gazelle, who we just saw, Creative Native, Hot Ticket, Environmental Impact, Jamaican Bobsled, all in there in Offshore B, and fully involved, Scott Free, Wild Thing, Hijinks, Vanishing Point, No Problem, to name a few, in Offshore Air, all going at it. Very tight competition throughout the race course in this 1990 APBA's presentation of the Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix here in Sarasota, Florida. Look at the many thousands of spectator boats who have come out to witness this great APBA event here in Sarasota. What a combination for offshore powerboat racing. Once again, nothing but the best put out by the APBA. There's the crew conversing between themselves, just getting their signals straight. But right now they look very comfortable and confident in the Heartbreaker racing boat. And now we come up on B50. This is Network Express. This is a 33-foot black fountain racing hull powered by two 550 horsepower Bauer inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned by Mark Franz of Great Falls, Virginia. He is your driver today. Art Lilly from Edgewater, Maryland is on throttles, and Alan Borum from Annapolis, Maryland is your navigator. The Network Express race team. What a good-looking race boat this is. They're in the middle toward the back of the pack, running with Turn of the Century, Tahoe, SOS Express, Crack Conks, Jamaican Bobsled, to name a few. They're running very strong at this present point in time, though, and they are going to look to try to close the gap between themselves and some of the lead boats. You saw the bigger fountain running earlier on, Reggie's boat, and this is also a fountain racing hull. So with this combination of power and the fountain race hull, we could look to see some good things from Network Express. They'll be running with Great Adventure, Creative Native, Hot Ticket, Environmental Impact, Jamaican Bobsled, to name a few, and they are trying to make a move and close the gap between themselves and the lead group of boats in Offshore B Division. From Sarasota, Florida, it's the Network Express race team. And now we come up on the business end of B10, the Tahoe race team. What a way to get started with this 29-foot Wellcraft, powered by those strong twin 370 horsepower Mercury inboard motors with Merc Cruiser outdrives. This boat is owned and driven by Sprague Mulliken of Perrysburg, Ohio, and Kevin A. Ropes from Rocky River, Ohio, is your throttle man. The Tahoe race team. Tahoe, running with Turn of the Century, Network Express, who we just saw, SOS Express, Crack Conks, Jamaican Bobsled in that portion of the Offshore B Division here today. Like we said, very tight competition, so you're really going to have a hard-running boat to make up the difference here between yourself and the lead boats. But right now, Tahoe is looking very strong, and they seem to be hanging in there with the rest of the competition in Offshore B Division here today. It's Sprague Mulliken and Kevin A. Ropes in the Tahoe race team. And this is a tough break for Mulliken and Ropes in the Tahoe race team. They definitely seem to have experienced a mechanical problem. They've pulled those throttle backs and have come off playing. Tough break for Tahoe, but we certainly hope it is not serious, and we'll just have to bring you an update on Tahoe. But now we go to a boat who is still running, and it is B16, the Turn of the Century race team. This is a 30-foot Century race hull powered by two 425 horsepower Mercury inboard motors with Mercruiser drives. This boat is owned by A.L. Kirkland of Panama City, Florida, who is driving today. And on throttles, we've got David Steele from Panama City, and David Webb is your navigator, also from the Panama City, Florida area. It's a complete Panama City, Florida race team, and Turn of the Century is really in a match right now. They're running with Network Express and Tahoe, and obviously Tahoe is no longer a factor, being that they've experienced some serious mechanical problems we've heard over the radio. No one was hurting with Tahoe, but they are out of the race. Tough break. We'll have to see them next time around. But right now we're with Kirkland's in Turn of the Century, and they're looking very good in this all-red, sleek Century race hull. We wish the Kirklands nothing but the best, because as we said earlier on, Offshore B is very, very competitive. Turn of the Century has had a very good campaign so far. They're tied for third place with Jamaican Bobsled in the points, divisional points in Offshore B. So we certainly hope they have a good run today. And with that, that should move them up the ladder in a commanding position with the points. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but hopefully they can add to a very successful 1990 campaign. From Sarasota, Florida, it's A.L. Kirkland's Turn of the Century race team. And now we come up on B63, the environmental impact boat. This is a 24-foot Sanger powered by one 365 horsepower Johnson outboard motor and a very attractive paint job on this environmental impact race team. This boat is owned by Greg Altspow of Cape Coral, Florida. He is your throttle man, and Jim Probus from Cape Coral, Florida is your driver. So Greg Altspow is your throttles, Probus doing the driving, and they form the environmental impact race team. And right now they are in part of one of the boats who is in your lead pack of boats in Offshore B with Great Adventure, Creative Native, Hot Ticket, Environmental Impact, who is locked in a very fierce battle with Jamaican Bobsled right now. Environmental Impact, they're presently in 5th place on the national point circuit in Offshore B, but they are coming off a very good run that they had in Miami, Florida, where they took a 2nd place. So after a few disappointing races, they finally got it together and came around very strongly in Miami, and they definitely want to take up where they left off with this race. So we wish them all the best here in Sarasota as they quest to get more points for the national point standing. From Sarasota, Florida, it's the Environmental Impact Race Team. Environmental Impact is sounding very strong right now, and we wish them nothing but the best here today from Sarasota, Florida. It's the Environmental Impact race team, and they're certainly looking to make an impact here today. Now we come up on B49, the Jamaican bobsled race team. This is a 30-foot velocity powered by two 240 horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned by Jim Bisline from Boca Raton, Florida, who is doing your driving today. On throttles, we've got Tom Mason from Deerfield Beach, Florida, and navigating is Dwayne Springer from Boca Raton, Florida, the Jamaican bobsled race team. And they've been having a relatively good campaign. So good, in fact, that they had a first place in the last race in Miami, Florida, and that has put them in third place overall in the national points in Offshore B. They're just 67 points behind Wild Thing in second place, and Creative Native is in first place in Offshore B. So a good run here by Jamaican Bobsled would really put them in a good position with some more points. But right now the story is Bill Gazelle's Great Adventure, Creative Native right behind him, and Hot Ticket, top three boats in Offshore B. But Environmental Impact, who you just saw, and Jamaican Bobsled are really locked in a very fierce battle. So we'll have to see how this one goes down to the wire. But Jamaican Bobsled is looking very good right now in Sarasota, and we wish them nothing but the best. The Jamaican Bobsled race team. Now we come up on A18, the Scot-Free Cascade race team. There's a 24-foot Maelstrom powered by a single 300 horsepower OMC outboard motor. This boat is owned by Steve Kildall of Sarasota, Florida, who's doing the driving and throttling, and Mark Mouse of Sarasota, Florida, is your navigator. A very good team right here, the Scot-Free Cascade race team. The local boys from Sarasota, very familiar with the waters, so they should have a slight advantage knowing the race course. A lot of good fan support out here for them, so we certainly wish them all the best. And they're locked in a fierce battle in the top of the A division. This is our first boat in Offshore A, and they'll be running 3 laps as the B boats are. They're in a duel with Fully Involved, holding off Wild Thing and Hijinks and Vanishing Point, as well as some of the other boats in A class. No Problem is their Rainmaker, Too Hot, just to name a few, as well as Airtime. Already out Under the Sun, Innovation, and Mr. Zip have had some unfortunate problems. Scot-Free is officially in 5th place overall in the national points, and they too had a relatively slow start, but they finished with a 2nd in Miami in our last race, so they certainly hope to improve upon that here today and try to overtake Too Hot, who is in 4th place right now. Too Hot is running behind them right now, so that is good for them because they're unofficially in second place and trying to chase down Fully Involved and Holding Off Wild Thing. From Sarasota, Florida, it's Steve Kildall's Scot-Free Cascade Race Team. Now we come up on S6, the Sunfire Race Team. There's a 24-foot skater powered by two 200-horsepower Mercury outboard motors. This boat is owned and driven by Noel Friedley of Michigan City, Indiana, and Tad Kimes from Key West, Florida, is on throttles. Tad Kimes, a good throttle man who's been around for a while, and he really does a great job for Friedley to help out this Sunfire Race Team. Sunfire, they're in a good battle right now with Victory, the Victory Team's S-Boat, as well as Thin Ice, Bermuda Racing, who we saw,